Welcome on today's conversation on the future of work, where AI isn't just a buzzword, but a business driver. This is Lenovo Work Reborn, live in Orlando. Charles, thank you so much for coming by to the Lenovo podcast booth. This is the Work Reborn podcast. I am really excited to talk to you today all about AI and, of course, you. So do you mind introducing yourself to our listeners, who you are and what you do?
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Charles, and I tend to use AI a little bit differently than most of the people who are going to be here because I am in marketing.
Yes.
So I am head of creative content and creative digital content for a software company, and I tend to use AI for creative purposes as opposed to those for analytical reasons.
Yeah, I think it's great to have your perspective on the show. We have had a lot of wonderful leaders on the tech side, but it's important to bring in other voices in other departments as well too. So talk to me a little bit about, how has the journey of AI adoption been for you personally or for your organization? When did you really start thinking about it and start using it?
Like everybody else, I was really excited when it first came out. I mean, it's like a kid in a candy store. Look at
Yeah.
all of the things that I can do. And I got swept up in it just like everybody else, thinking about productivity, thinking about efficiency, thinking about
Right.
accessibility was a big one for me.
Mm,
Because there were things that I was never able to do on my own
wow.
and never able to do, even with a team. Some of these things felt beyond my reach. I couldn't do this unless I had a tremendous budget or just a lot of resources to work with. And now, all of a sudden, I can do it with a prompt and make it happen.
Yes.
And so that's really exciting for me to be able to do that. Now, the more I dig into it and the more I play around with it, the more I've sort of developed this love-hate relationship with AI. I still love it for what it's able to do for me as a person. And I love what it's able to do for a lot of people as a person. I worry sometimes about how some people might abuse that
Right.
in ways where they think that it can do more than what it's actually capable of. And I feel like marketers like me might be responsible for some of that because we love to talk up what we think it can do, and we love to talk about how amazing all of these features are, and we make a lot of promises, but living up to those expectations, that's up to the user to figure out. That's up to the IT leaders to understand what those limitations are. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now with my love-hate relationship with AI.
I think everyone has experiencing that because it's so new, because we have to learn so much, and also because it's really changing not just the work, but the workforce. And, as the workforce becomes more AI enabled, which skills or functions do you think are going to phase out? And then on the positive side, new ones that you think will actually be critical?
Might actually be one and the same. So I think that the jobs that we're seeing phase out, so to speak, are on the creative side, it's the writers. I've already seen the writers start to disappear, which was really heartbreaking for me because I started as a writer. But then you realize, okay, so writers aren't actually going away. We're always going to need writers. But
Right.
now we need writers who are capable of writing and implementing AI not because we want you to write better, but because we want more content than any one person is capable of delivering.
Well, the demand is higher overall. Like from a marketing perspective, you can have an expert writer still remain in their role of writing,
Right.
but not one writer can write for various social channels and a newsletter
And a blog.
and a blog and a
yeah.
this and a that. So it's really about less phasing out, I think, like you're saying, and more reintroduction. And we call it work reborn in our lingo of Lenovo.
Okay.
So what does work reborn, diving into that a bit, what does that mean to you?
For me, it just means a shift. This thing that you do, that you love, that you are passionate about. As a writer, you love to write, and you've always wanted to do this, and now it feels like, well, now AI is taking over and I don't get to be a writer. And that's not true. You absolutely can still be a fantastic writer, But now with AI, the jobs want you to be able to blend in that skill set so that you can provide additional content, more content in more various ways, in different avenues, in different verticals, whatever it is that you have to write for. They want you to be able to create this new level of content. So writers for one, and then obviously programmers for the other,
Right.
as we've seen. And it doesn't mean you don't get to be a programmer anymore. It doesn't mean we're not going to need programmers. We're always going to need that, just in a different capacity now.
Right. What would you say you're most looking forward to if you were to say future of work done right in the right hands with the right people, a few words or less rounding out the conversation. What does that look like to you?
The microwave oven is what it looks like to me.
Really?
You know how exciting the microwave oven was when it first came out, and all the things we thought we could do? People were going to cook their whole Thanksgiving meals in the microwave oven. That's how we were going to revolutionize. Now, it's just the microwave. You use it to reheat stuff. We use it for what it's meant for. I make popcorn in it. It's the microwave. I want AI to reach that at some point where, all right, let's tone down the hype and understand this is what it's really good at and use it for that. And I think once that happens and it becomes a little bit more just part of our everyday, then we'll start to find real human uses for it. And it'll just feel more integrated into our everyday lives.
Fantastic. Well, Charles, this has been a fantastic conversation. Thank you so much for coming by our booth today, Charles.
Thank you. I really appreciate this.
If you're interested in learning more about the Work Reborn podcast, download the report in the description below or on the QR code available on the screen. And that's a wrap. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for joining us live in Orlando for this amazing episode of Work Reborn. I've been your host, Rita Risha, and it's been a pleasure to bring you insightful conversations from around the world, especially at this event, on how we are bringing new life to the modern workplace. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to stay tuned on more ways that we are doing just that, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe our channel, and download a copy of the Work Reborn report today.
Lenovo.